My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. I want to read a statement to you from Don Huffines, who is running for governor of the state of Texas. Dear Americans for Parental Equality, thank you for your tireless efforts to ensure Texas children have the brightest futures and to ensure both parents take an active role in their child's life. Protecting Texas families is a top priority of mine, and part of that is ensuring our laws default to equal shared parenting. My wife, Mary Catherine, and I have raised 5 children, and I know neither of us could have done so without each other. As governor, I will always fight to put Texas families, parents, and children first. Ensuring Texas kids have the greatest opportunity for success and have access to both parents will be one of my emergency items I will task the legislature with addressing in the first 60 days. Again, thank you for your outspoken advocacy on this issue and your determination to fight for the best interests of Texas parents and children. For Texas, Don Huffines. Today is Tuesday, October the 19th, and this just came out today. Americans for Parental Equality has officially endorsed Don Huffines to run as governor. And just to be clear, I am not a representative for Americans for Parental Equality. I do know Don Huffines well. Don Huffines has been my senator. I've been in his office. I've talked about issues with him. I've met with him at multiple times, different events. I believe the first time I met with him was in 2017, I believe, at a town hall forum, and I brought up the issue of family before him and before Senator Bob Hall. I've spoken with him on countless occasions. We've interviewed him. We've done all sorts of things. Don Huffines is the real deal. People have asked me, is Don Huffines just saying this to get some votes? If Don Huffines says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. And I'm going to give a little behind the scenes story that I was shocked at myself. I called one of the Huffines members not too long ago, one of the families, and they told me this over the phone. Jeff, we know who you are. We have talked about you at Sunday dinners, and we've talked about the issues that you stand for. We are totally behind what you're doing to try to help the family. And I'm just merely one person. There are many others that have been involved in this fight longer and harder than I have been. So here's what I'm going to tell everybody who is in the groups that want equal shared parenting, everybody who wants to see families strengthen, everybody who's even opposing the issue of unilateral no-fault divorce, everybody who knows that children need both parents in their lives. Should a divorce happen, should there be a child even born out of wedlock, children need access to both parents. That is in the best interest of the child, period. Don Huffines is a candidate who will speak very forcefully on this issue. Don Huffines is a man of action. He will press for it at every level. And if you are not involved in his campaign, all of you people who've said we need a candidate like this, if you are not involved in his campaign, all I can say is shame on you. You either get involved or forever you shut up about the issue. That's just the way that I look at it. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you go to your own party, you advocate for equal shared parenting, you advocate for parental equality, whatever you want to call it. You do all of this stuff. You get to put on your party's platform like we did last year with the GOP platform. You do that, and then you vote for Don Huffines. I don't care if you're black or if you're white or if you're Hispanic or if you're Asian. You do the exact same thing. Because Senator Huffines, my former senator who's running for governor, he is the guy that will represent you. One of the things that I like about Senator Huffines is that he knows where the skeletons are buried in Austin, and he's not afraid to unearth them, and he's not afraid to call them out. If you are not involved in this campaign, once again, you just need to be quiet about this issue henceforth. He is the candidate. He is the candidate that you've been looking for. I'm going to address men because I'm a man. Men, you are the protectors of your families. You are the ones who should be standing up. In most instances, when it comes down to divorce or a child born out of wedlock, you are the ones that are often treated unequally. And you need to get up there and exercise some backbone. I'm so tired of these keyboard warriors who complain and who whine and who groan and who just say, well, there was nothing we can do. We need to fix the system. We need to get rid of all of this stuff. You've got a candidate right here. If you are not involved, forever shut up. That's it. Women, I say the same thing to mothers, because I know many mothers who've been kicked out of their kids' lives because of this swamp called the family court system, because of these evil laws that have often been passed by family law attorneys, advocated and passed by family law attorneys to destroy families so that they can profit off of the destruction of your family. You get involved. If you are not involved in the Huffines campaign, I say to you too, as women, as mothers, you need to forever shut up if you are not involved in this campaign. Once again, I don't care if you are Republican. I don't care if you are Democrat. If you are Democrat, fix your party and vote for Huffines. And also put people around him that can actually help you with this stuff. You know, one thing I've never said, I grew up in Pennsylvania, and growing up as a kid, I was a Democrat. I never voted as Democrat, but that's because my mother spoke up on behalf of the Democratic Party. So when we had these fake elections and so on in school, I often voted Democrat. And then something happened when it became time for me to start to vote. I looked at the people out there and I said, I must vote Republican. They stand for the values that I stood for. They stood for family, they stood for faith, they stood for freedom, and they stood for God himself in many instances. Regardless, if you are a Democrat, and if you are in a situation where you cannot see your child, or you're upset because of child support that is killing you, or because, you know, you're finding yourself in a position where the other parent is taking the child and keeping the child away from you, if you do not vote for Huffines, you can actually sit down and be quiet. And I'm going to say it's not just vote for Huffines. I think you need to be involved. The biggest problem that the Huffines campaign should have right now is processing the number of people from this community that said, I want to be involved. There should be 25,000 people submitting their request to his website and saying, I want to be involved. How can I help? This should be priority number one that you should be involved with right now. This should be the biggest problem that the Huffines campaign is facing. Don Huffines is campaigning throughout the state. If you are in one of these positions where you want to see your children, where you know that the family law is totally messed up, that the courts are corrupt, that attorneys abuse you, exploit you, financially manipulate you, lie to you, you need Huffines. And you also need other people in there that will support him. Again, it's not just being involved, and it's not just voting for him and not just being involved. You need to tell your friends. You need to get them involved. You know somebody who's going through a situation right now, you tell them, you've got an answer, it's coming. From my perspective, Governor Abbott, whatever he's done that has been good, and he has done some good things, a lot of these problems, to me, directly relate to him both being an attorney general and governor. He has refused to address this issue. He himself is an attorney. He sides with the attorneys. And if you look at some of his attorney general opinions, you may not even agree with them. But this is what we have. We have a swamp down in Austin, and we have a governor who panders to the money in many instances instead of standing up and fighting for the people. It's easy to say you're fighting for the people and the family. In my opinion, Governor Abbott has done a half-hearted job of that. Don Huffines will get in there and he will fight in a manner that you have never seen before. And especially if he has an army around him, an army of men, an army of women, an army of children who have seen the abuse that they've had to suffer because of these unjust laws in the Texas Family Code, and because of these corrupt judges, and because of these abusive and exploitive attorneys. If you don't fight, sit down and shut up. You have lost your right to fight and to ever complain about this once again, in my opinion. And even if you don't agree with all of Senator Huffines' campaign as he's running for governor, you learn what the campaign is about, and you find a way to support it. You find a way to support him. You don't have to take everything lock, stock, and barrel. I do, actually. I believe 100% in what he's doing. You might say, well, I only believe in him 95%. Fine. Use your 95% and go after that 95%. I'm not really interested in hearing about all the things, well, he does this, he didn't like that, I want to see this. Here's the problem that you don't realize. It is the Democrats, and it's those people who are committed to the destruction of the family, who run under the Democratic Party, who are causing these problems in your life. And yes, there have been many Republicans who have also embraced those ideologies, because we have Republicans who are attorneys who also make money off of this. Huffines will be in there and he will fight for you. Allen West is a very good man. Chad Prather is a very good man. Don Huffines is a very good man. All three of them are together on this issue. I love every single one of them. These are great quality people. From my perspective, Don Huffines is the guy who is going to be the one who, again, knows where the skeletons are buried, who's unafraid, who's running this thing as a business, who is going to take down this system. If you are not involved in getting rid of Abbott, and then if you are not involved in voting against whoever the Democratic candidate may be, you are part of the problem, you are not part of the solution. For those people who are in fathers' rights groups, who are in mothers' rights groups, contact other people in your groups. We're talking not about favoring fathers over mothers or mothers over fathers. We're talking about parental equality for grandparents that are affected by this. Because in many instances in a situation of divorce, it is a grandparents or the aunts or the uncles who lose out. You contact them. And if you're a grandparent, an aunt, or an uncle who've been affected by this, you get behind the Huffines campaign too. Once again, I do not want to hear all of these people complaining and whining and groaning and just whining and, oh, we can't get anything done. And if you don't get involved in this campaign, it's only on you. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about this right now. Senator Huffines, thank you so much for coming out strongly, clearly, so in such a way that it's unmistakable that you will be a champion for this issue. The children of Texas, the parents of Texas, the grandparents of Texas, we all need a fighter like you. We thank you. Thank you for putting people first, not a politicized agenda. Thank you for standing up for the people of Texas. And if you are listening to this, go to donhuffines.com, donhuffines.com. You sign up, you get involved, you do whatever other steps you wish to. But if you are not part of this campaign, if you are not out there meeting him in person, talking with him at the rallies that he's holding throughout the state, you are part of the problem. You are not part of the answer. You're not part of the solution. Thank you very much.